Ladies and gentlemen, we have Quatropus with TAMASHII. Take it away, Quatropus.
All right, appreciate it. What's up, everybody? Yeah, you gotta give me a bit. It's 4 o'clock here in the morning. A bit tired. Never thought I'd be running TAMASHII this early in the morning, but you know, we make do. First off, I want to give a shout out to NoReset for reaching out to me and letting me know that they were putting this together. I luckily had this to offer. It's not a super crazy like speedrun that you break. There's no like out of bounds or glitches or anything. It's just pure 100% skill from start to finish. There are a few tricks that I will be doing. First off, the options that I wanted to turn off were these two, where it's image distortion / glitch and the blinking lights / fast animation. Sorry, I'm getting my tongue tied. This helps for 2 reasons. The first reason is that it helps with, there's a disclaimer at the beginning that warns about epilepsy and seizure warnings. So there is a section later in the game that these get turned back on. So if you're susceptible to those, do turn away if you're feeling a bit sick. I will call it out when it happens. The biggest thing, though, for a speedrunner is that this actually removes a cutscene at the beginning. So that's about 5 to 10 second saves. So awesome. Scanlines always comes off because I don't like scanlines. Anyways, I do believe I set it up so it should start me at the very beginning. There's one little thing that I do upon each setup. So I will give it a countdown. So are you ready?
I think we're ready.
All right, so it's 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so TAMASHII is a weird platformer / horror game released back in 2019 by Vinkinter, and man, it's something. Like, it's hard to explain. There's a lot of religious themes, a lot of horror themes, a lot of gore, and just like disturbing stuff. I think I found out about this game on a Reddit about conspiracy theories. So this first little area we're gonna go through is a little bit of a tutorial area. That room right there, platform showed up. What I do is, if you go into that room and you fall down in the pit, it teaches you how to reset the room. So if you hit select, you'll notice that reset came up. Once you do that, the platforms show up. But if you do that and then quit to the main menu, what happens is when you get to that room again, the platforms are already there, so you could just run across it. Everything's going to be happening so fast, so I'm going to do my best to try to explain everything. One of the other things that I'm doing is between each door transition, I'm going to be hitting the B button on my controller. What that does is that actually speeds up the door transition. So I can't really move much here. You'll notice I didn't hit it in time, so you saw how long it took. But if I hit it there, it like speeds it up just like that. So now we're in the corrupted temple. And this thing's broken up into stages. It's not like a giant world that you could just run around. It's almost just like, kind of like Mario in a way. So our first stop is Asaya. So walk in here and we get to see Jesus. And then we get to say goodbye to Jesus. All right.
These are some interesting things going on the screen right now. It's amazing.
I don't even know how I stumbled upon it. Everybody I know just like, where do you find these games? And I'm like, that's a good question. Get back to me on that. But one thing that you're seeing is that I'm dropping these weird totem-like skeletons. These activate these little switches, and they're almost like puzzles. So, as you see, I got it into that little, like, kind of claw machine there. And what that does is that unlocks the door. So you'll see it here. So I hit that, and then I do that to change the direction. As I drop it down there, the door opens. So everything's gonna be happening so. Leave the totems in here. Have them shoot these blue pellets. I want to see if I get it before the 3 masks spawn. Okay, that I timed that wrong, but that's all right. All right, second phase. This one's a little bit trickier because now it's like what's they called? What are they called? Like the time crisis games. See. All right, that's what I was afraid of. All right, we got it anyways. So if I didn't have a totem on the little Baphomet symbol, what would happen was the platforms holding the other 2 totems up would disappear and they would fall down, which means they were no longer shooting. You got all that good. It's very fast. I'm trying to catch up. What else have I done? It's a good question. Maybe we would have a good time. We actually do have a good time here in a second, because there is a little bit of downtime, about maybe 10 seconds. Oh yeah, if you're susceptible to jump scares, be wary. It's happening very much like right now. So
sorry, I just
so if I could run through everything real quick. I'm placing totems down with X. I can speed up the totems holding Y, which is useful for puzzles. Each room is going to have a new thing added. So now in Atzilith, they add these new laser beams. You can't move through them, but if you double jump, as you fall down, you can actually still move through the line. So I'm going to set up some puzzles here using that. We got arrows. We got these weird black rod monsters. You got some weird imagery on the wall. We're not going to really talk about a lot of it. I mean, you can kind of get the gist of what it's supposed to be, you know. Very family friendly. I didn't mean to actually drop them, but it should be okay. Yep. So I'm actually just going to reset the room. The issue with that was because I had a totem still on that switch, and so the one that I wanted to move over to the right was not doing that. So I have to just reset the room. He gets in that little switch that opens up the door. Oh, in that room, that right there, the 2 doors, that is like a separation between, like, it's like, do you want to do an easier level or do you want to do the difficult level? Doing the difficult level actually gets you some bonus material input into a folder. Doesn't really add much, but there's like no secret boss or anything. Speaking of bosses, here's the second one. We're actually going to do a quick version of the boss. So I'm going to go down here, hit that. I'm going to jump back over here. I'm going to wait for the second shot. There we go. Hitbox. All right. I had a feeling that was going to happen. No worries, though. So we'll just set it up again. I usually do a little jump. That's what I wanted to do. I say little, but it was quite a massive jump. So basically, I just have those in the platform back in that little corner, allowing them to shoot the boss. Getting it fast right there means that I don't have to wait to set up another one. So you also want to you'll probably be asking who this character is. This character is Fucrul, I think is how to pronounce her name. It's very difficult. But it is an anagram for Lucifer if you want to get a little bit more interested in lore stuff. You basically play this nameless soul, which Tamashi in English is soul. I think that's right. It's Japanese, I believe. You're created by this giant god figure, and you don't necessarily need. I'm trying to figure out what this one adds. I don't think this one adds anything new. I think it just adds the red blocks. I guess saw blades too, but they're just saw blades. No big deal. So you'll be noticing that like I definitely am just doing quick movement. It's 100% skill. I rarely have to deal with anything RNG in this. If something messes up, it's usually on my end. So nothing to blame but myself if a run dies. But it's not, so don't worry. So what I want to do is I want to make sure I get up here quickly. Hit that. All right. We did it in time. Ooh, get up there. There we go. I wanted to go ahead and get rid of that totem because the blast would still shoot upwards and it would kill me as I moved my way or moved out. Come on. There we go. I'm going to reset this room because I hit one at the beginning. I'm going to drop one here. These rooms are completely different if you choose the hard versions. All right, now we're up to our third boss, which is not very difficult at all. And mainly, none of them are except for the first one because of the second phase. I think I have more issues with that one than any other boss. I say as I died on the second boss, but you know, it happens. So basically for this one, I'm just making my way through this little stage, dropping totems where I need to, and just trying to get to the next screen transition. And you'll notice these light beams as well that I'm running past. Like you probably saw them earlier. If I run into them as I activate them, I die. Oh, that's death. Nope, that's not death. That should have been death. That was new. Anyways, we'll continue. I was actually supposed to be in that last switch, but apparently I wasn't. So yeah, that was a thing. I actually should have died there.
Marathon luck, right?
Yeah, tell me about it. So there's another stage I want to go. In order to get there, I have to go that way. But if you could see in this, there's a little bit of the black that's very visible. There's little secrets in like sprayed upon like or throughout this area that gives you like some interesting like dev notes, and I'm pretty sure there's some about their hatred for Bethesda in here. I'm unsure. Or maybe it's just, oh no, it's Activision with Bobby Kotick. That I do know. But that's for a different time. So I'm making my way now through these thwomps. And you also saw the room where they've introduced this kind of like Milky Way Room. There's like a few rooms in this one that I have to deal with. This next one is very quick if I time it right. And I just gotta wait and then go. So this room I want to time a little bit differently too. So I want to make my way quickly over to this switch or this symbol. and then I want to wait until the wave's about right there. The reason being is that on my way back, that totem's gonna blow up, and the green blocks there that I have to run through will show up as I make my way through them, so I actually get stuck in the middle of them and die. And I don't want that, so that's why I have to time it in a certain way. Oh yeah, and there's these things too. So you'll notice that these lines that are red, what these mean is what happens if I activate those lines or I run through those lines, the totems actually get destroyed, no matter how much time they have left on their timers. So I want to make sure that I don't hit any of them. Off, but we're good. So awesome. And you'll notice that you'll see that the timers down at the bottom left hand corner, those are the timers for each totem. You can only set like a max of 3 out on the same, or out at one time. So now we're on the 4th boss, which is basically just an auto scroller. So if you have anything, you can go ahead and talk about it.
Oh, sure thing. Again, I'd like to remind everybody about the bonus game for Mega Man Maker custom stages. It's only $15,000, and we're very, very close. We'd love to see that happen. We also have the bid war for Monster Hunter World Choose the Weapon, which is between a Switch Axe, Hammer, and Charge Blade. I also just want to add how nightmare fuel this level is.
Yeah, I mean,
that's amazing.
For some people, probably seeing this at 4 a.m. or whatever time it is, probably not a good idea. But I love this kind of stuff. Like I'm all into like these weird indie dev stuff, like finding stuff like Bemis and Hylix and like all these weird games that like you just find on itch.io after like being bored at 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'm all for it.
That feeling.
All right, so that should have been the 4th one. And another thing that I forgot to mention is that the first chamber that we did, Asaya, was the only one that we were forced to do because everything else was blocked off with this like white webbing. But by doing that and going back to the main room, or the room with the your creator in it, that ends up removing all the webs. So after that, you can do them in any order. But the order I have right now is just the more reliable one. All right, so now we're on Kether. Kether's a very short one. It's got maybe 3 stages. We're going to just ignore that. And this got a little cool trick in here, if I'm very quick about it. So if I jump down here and jump really quick, I can hit that before the laser beam hits the platform. So drop him. I'm going to drop a totem right here. All right. Hello, leg or face crotch. A lot of cool, interesting, and weird, grotesque designs in this.
I'm loving every second of it.
If only I had time to explain a lot of it. But like I was saying at the beginning, it's like it's very fast paced. Like it's basically only a. Whoa! I timed that wrong. It's basically like just like a 20 to 22 minute run. So like there's like it's just constant moving. Like
I'm
just
sure the
placing
lore
totems.
is very deep.
I've what? I jumped. All right. I've chosen not to explain the lore because I'm probably not qualified enough to talk about it.
That's fair.
It's very much content that I'm just like I get, but It's basically up to perspective. But it's very religious and very dark.
Fair
And
enough.
also, it just goes over my head. I'm just like, me go fast. That's all I want. So now we're actually fighting Lucifer, or not Lucifer, sorry, Fucrel. Very weird name. And this is just gonna last for 3 phases. So we're over 1 phase. Now we're on the second one. Don't move there. You can still die there if you move, which is always fun. And then, all right.
Oh.
So there's that fight, but the fight's not fully over because we actually go into another boss fight. It's not immediate. It's another kind of like shmup. So there is a little bit more downtime if you have anything.
Sure
That door. First off, that graphical issue over there, though, I've never seen that before, but that's okay.
Hashtag this never happened before. All right. Well, we do have a $10 donation from Anonymous saying, "Thanks for playing this Nightmare Fuel. What can we get, or where can we get this game?" That's actually a very good question.
Yes, that's a good question. You can get it on Steam. You can also, surprisingly enough, get it on Nintendo Switch or the
Really?
Nintendo eShop. Yes. You can also buy it on Itch.io, or I say Itch.io, but it's the itch.io. We're actually shooting a giant baby now, by the way. But yeah, should be $5, I think, on every platform. So
That's
very
really good.
affordable.
I'm definitely gonna have to get this on my wish list and play it sometime.
If somebody gets it on the Switch, please message me and tell me what they censor out, if they censor anything. I would like to know.
Well, that would actually be very interesting, considering the things we've been seeing.
Not even that, like, there's a lot of stuff in the backgrounds that I've not talked about. Like, there's a lot of imagery of, like, adult content. Like,
Oh, definitely.
in one level, you had, like, the tongues and the fingers, and, like, there was some genitalia in the background, and yeah, it's got a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
I was worried about that. Like, that black screen happened pretty quickly. I was actually kind of worried about it. I've actually been having issues with the game recently. Like, I threw it up on practice, and I had just changed out a new GPU. And what had happened was the game was running 30% slower than what it normally does. So I was like, I gotta talk to the dev now, see what happened. And what?
Oh. I'm assuming that's
Oh,
not
my game crashed.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
That's bad. Just kidding. This is where the options get turned back on, by the way, for the ones that I talked about at the beginning. So, seizure warnings go into effect.
What is going on? My goodness.
There's actually one hidden room, by the way, that is like the dev just creates like this broken room, and he's just like, "Hey, stop breaking my game." But overall, the game runs fine. Like, I haven't found any sort of, like, out of bounds or breaks or anything. Although, to be fair, I haven't really looked for any.
You definitely just
but no,
I
I was actually having issues with the game, and I asked the dev, and the dev didn't know what was happening. So I was like, okay. And apparently, the way he had developed the game was on an NVIDIA graphics card, like on a laptop, at like 60 frames per second. So apparently it just has to be locked at 60, or it doesn't run fine, which is weird. All right, I messed up that jump. And actually, the run's almost over, by the way. So that shows how fast it's been.
It's very, very fast paced.
Yeah.
Lots of jumping. I probably would not do as well as you are right now.
It's very much like if you love stuff like Super Meat Boy and whatnot, this is kind of your thing. And time.
There he is.
Yes, we have become the baby.
Oh, okay.
We are now the baby.
That is
Also,
something else.
fun fact is if when you're playing this on your PC, they actually put in your PC's name, like whatever you name your PC when you're setting up Windows or whatever. It's puts your name in here, and that's what you're known by. Like you'll saw there, like it said Caleb. That's my first name.
Yeah.
So, but they put it in the game because it reads whatever the PC you're playing it on. So, but yeah, there it is. There's Tamashi. I hope I was able to explain enough in that short period of time. That looked to be about a 23-minute run.
Yeah, it was 23 minutes and 7 seconds.
Nice.
Yeah.
PB for this for me is 21:10, with some of best being 20:55, and it's just like it has to be perfect. I said 30. I said 30 minutes though because we have this now.
Oh.
I have no idea what this is.
All right, we're now first person.
This literally doesn't last long. What happens is that you have this like little room that you can walk.
A little.
Go in. The room kind of changes into crosses and a river of blood or an ocean of blood. Pretty cool.
My goodness.
And then at the very end is a pyramid with an eye in the middle. And as you reach further in, it's got a burning cross on top of it. And I'm actually going to leave it here because any further, the game actually does crash.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay, the game's over. You're done playing. Goodbye.
We're just going to shut this off for you now.
Yeah. And also, if you look into Task Manager, I had to have Task Manager open just in case of it crashing. Like actually crashing. The thing's titled "Don't Play It."
Oh.
So.
Well, I guess that really says a lot.
Yeah, actually, we'll just go ahead and crash it. It'll be a black screen. So, there you go. And it no longer is running.
Well then, that was amazing. Thank you for that. You also debated the chat on that crash real hard. I just want to say you got me too.
It's so there's if you look at it, it says like it says something. I can't remember. I meant to take a screenshot, but like it's like it's spells it's like a full sentence. It's like this is the summoning, or like you are the summoner, or blah blah blah, or whatever it says. But they change it up to where it looks like it's coding. So there's letters, and for certain letters they use numbers. So that's why. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. That's it. That's Tamashi. Hopefully, I was able to explain enough in that short period of run or short period of time. Like I said, you can get on itch.io and Steam and the eShop for $5. So do your favor, pick it up. It's a really good game.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Quatropus. Everybody give it up with some claps and some hype for that amazing run of Tamashi. Thank you very, very much. All right, I think we're going to head off to transition.